So we've got Matthew joining us today. Joining class. So this particular project, the Moving Towards Abstraction project, I think the first week I just introduced the idea of perhaps working with collage and maybe some sort of paper cut collages, just kind of flat areas. So that's one idea you could work with. And last week it was using this drawing exercise, looking towards Cubism. So I was thinking we could carry that on this week. So we've got the various still life objects, this whole collection here. If you fancy having a go at this, I've got some boards, or we've got some slightly smaller ones there, and you could set something up on here, and then the idea is just to rotate it. So what you do is have something tall in the middle. That's like the reference point. And then you draw perhaps a few objects in. So this was the demo from last week, and I've added a few bits now, just to gradually fill it up. So you can draw a few objects, spin it around a little bit. You just draw the central object once, and then you could draw the other objects in relation to that. So you end up superimposing object on object. And then once you've got to a point where you feel like you've got enough there, and this one I feel like I'm almost there, perhaps a little bit more here. You could think about background too. And I did wonder about, I didn't actually set it up, but something like a scarf or something with a bit of a pattern for it might be interesting. And then it's then just adding some colours or tones. And what I'd suggest with the colours and tones is don't have too many, maybe pick 3 or 4. And these sort of colours harmonise with each other. So if I start to, I've got exact pencils. This is just pastel pencils, and I've got a set here that for the class to use. And then in terms of which areas to tone, it's more like looking at different shapes really. So maybe I could go with that as a shape there and work that in. And then another bit at the bottom, like this section here, perhaps I'll go with a different colour or tone. So that rather than trying to get naturalistic light and dark, or you're doing it in a more kind of visually appealing pattern sort of way. Create interesting rhythms, interesting shapes. So, and yeah, Maria's one. Can I show you what?
Yeah, of course.
This was a lovely example from last week that Maria brought some different objects. Yeah, nice. Just that one. So it's creating a design as much as creating a moving away from naturalism and creating design. So that's there for everybody to use if they'd like to set one up. Feel free to use any of these objects. And as I say, I've got boards there. I've also got slightly smaller boards here if you wanted to do a very small still life, use that. Or you can use these as, if you want to use collage, and just use this as a basis for collage. This is some card again that I've got given. We've got some collage materials here that again one of the students brought in. Some nice wallpapers, plus some fabrics, another student brought, scissors, glue. So there's everything that you can choose any of those. I think next week I'll bring all these things in because some people will still be working on them. So this will be here if you want it. And I might well move on to the next project, which I can't remember what the next project is. I'll have to look at the plan, which I don't seem to have with me. But whatever the next one is. The other thing I might do is if it's like nice weather, we've been going outside a little bit and just painting and drawing around here. We did a session of that. If it's nice and bright, we could do a bit more of that. You can do that today if you want. It's a little bit duller today. But I could do maybe a painting or drawing demo outside if it's nice weather. So that's if I don't do it next week, that'll be whenever it's nice weather. I could do that. I planned a couple of sessions outdoors if people would want them. The first one is Whole Bridge on Monday, so quite a lot of my Rayleigh class are interested in that. So I'm going to run a session at Whole Bridge on Monday morning. So if anybody's interested in that, And then there's a couple more. I did send these out on an email as well, but if you are interested, I'm also thinking perhaps Malton and Hadley Country Park in June. So if you think you might be interested in those, just let me know. And if I've got enough people, say half a dozen people, I'll run them. Looks like I've got plenty of power bridge, so that'll go ahead. So that's the plan for outdoor sessions, and I can maybe add some more in if there are other places, if you want other sessions, if you want somewhere to go. Does that cover it? Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
Any technique for drawing a wine bottle that's kind of accurately on both sides?
You could do, yeah.
Do you have a plumb lines, or how do you?
You could do something like that. Just one bit. I'll turn this over. It's more like engineering drawing, really, but it's just you could just get a vertical, and then draw one side of it sort of as accurately as you can, and then you could just kind of measure out, really.
Yeah.
So that would be one way of getting it, and then literally sort of measure the spaces and created it a dot to dot type thing. So that would, if you wanted to get it nice and symmetrical. And some of these things, it's worth doing these slightly structured, slightly engineering looking drawings to get that look. This exercise, it doesn't matter quite so much, but and the same with things like, say if you're drawing the cup and the ellipses, if you're drawing the cup, you could do like a cross and then just work out what's the widest bits, just kind of measure those, and then from this side to this side, so the top was there, that's there, and then I find that it's better to start with the tightest radiuses then, and just kind of work your way out. You probably need to go a little bit wider than that. And then I'm going to miss the mark, but that's one way of trying to get a nice elliptical shape. Just give it a little bit of structure, and then you can do the same at the bottom. How wide?
Good.
So that can be quite good. Yeah, it's worth structuring things like that. So.
You put plein air preparation, and then June is atmospheric landscapes.
Oh really? Right. Okay. Right. Right. I'll do the plein air preparation.
That's what you said.
Yeah. I'll have to think what I'm going to do. Yeah, that could be good then. Yeah. Right, okay. We'll do something along those lines next week. Come up with something. Yeah, hopefully it'll be nice weather. We could do a bit more plein air next week, go outside here or down the end or something like that.
So where and what time is Monday?
Monday is 10:30. Do you know where the anchor is at Holbridge? Yeah. So I think we'll meet on that bit, and then probably if it's nice enough weather, go to the left. There's a little bit of shade.
Okay.
But really anywhere along there.
Is there a car park near there?
There is. There's a free car park just before you get to the anchor on the right.
Yeah.
And there's also a public toilet there, so part of the reason of picking that as a spot.
So 10:30.
Yeah, so I'll do 10:30 till 1. I'll make it like a 2.5 hours. Some people aren't turning up by then, it get too cold or anything. It looks like it's going to be sunny, but I don't think it's going to be very warm, so a few layers on.
Do you want a definite if we're going to be there?
No, it's just to get a bit of an idea.
Okay.
I mean, that one will run, because I've already got quite a few people said they're probably interested, so pretty sure it's at least. I kind of think if I've got half a dozen plus is fine.
Well, unless anything unforeseen happens,
Yeah.
I'd like to come.
If you just that's your email, not your email, your mobile on there, just in case it's any last minute cancellation, like something happens. Right.